fortunate to have with us here today members of the New England First Amendment Coalition. The New England First Amendment Coalition, or NEFAC, is one of Rhode Island's most ardent supporters of open government. And since 2006, they've been working to provide educational resources on public records and open meetings. With us here today, we have Karen Bordelot, who's president of NEFAC and the former executive editor of the Providence Journal. And we also have with us today Ed Fitzpatrick, a member of NEFAC's board of directors. He's a former political columnist for the Providence Journal and now covers Rhode Island for the Boston Globe. Karen and Ed offer an important perspective on open government matters, and we're happy to have them here with us this morning to share some of their remarks.
Good morning. So I'm a journalist, but I'm not Tim White, and I'm not calling you up and asking you for, to hand over the information about parking fees being hidden or something like that. So anyway, I'm not gonna give you that attitude. But on behalf of the New England First Amendment Coalition, I want to thank you all, especially Attorney General Neronha, for the invitation to participate in this 21st annual summit. I hope this will result in a substantial and respectful dialogue when it comes to open records and open meetings in Rhode Island. I hope this summit helps us to better understand the challenges we face, the ones that you face as government records keepers, and the ones journalists face as government watchdogs. I've been a journalist for about 40 years, and I've spent about half of that time at the Providence Journal, so you can imagine the stuff I have seen and reported on, some OMG moments for sure. But thankfully, along the way, there were some very responsible and diligent court clerks and town clerks, police chiefs, state records keepers, solicitors, and elected officials who have followed open record laws, and those have helped us to shed light in dark places for the benefit of the public. I'll ask you to consider what Rhode Island would look like today if state and municipal records keepers had shut down access over the years. So we certainly would not have known about racketeering practices of former mayors or corruption of former governors. We wouldn't have been aware of councilmen engaged in bribery schemes with developers or fire marshals who approved material that caused fires that killed people. We would be unaware of test scores in our communities or misconduct or good conduct of law enforcement officials. If the public, that's you and me, doesn't know about the problems, how could we possibly fix them? So I'm urging all of you to revert to openness as a default. Too often journalists on the federal, state, and local levels are getting flat-out no's when they request documents that should be available under the laws. A no answer may be the easiest one for you to give in the short term. I get it, you're busy and there are fewer of you. But in the long term, it is a dangerous response. All Americans, including those employed by the government, have a responsibility to protect the Republic, and that includes protecting the First Amendment. That responsibility, part of that is protecting a free press, not hindering a free press, because that ultimately translates into the public's right to know. We are already seeing that under Attorney General Neronha's administration. We're seeing that transparency is indeed the order of the day. I encourage you to continue on this path because it is a shining example for other states. In closing, I'd like to ask you to please contact the New England First Amendment Coalition if there's any difficult matters regarding records or meetings, just anything that you have questions about. We have board members, all of us lawyers and/or journalists, and we can offer free guidance, especially as it relates to what's happening in the other New England states. So thank you very much for your work. I'm very grateful, and NEFAC's very grateful for your service, and also grateful for the opportunity to speak.